Hello students, welcome to Btech360. We've been over the last few days covering some hidden gems, some very good colleges, very good courses that students who want to pursue Btech at IITs, NITs, IIITs and GFTs must also consider. These are those colleges or those courses which are extremely good in terms of their placement outcomes, but possibly not a part of the consideration set of people who are only looking at admissions in IITs, NITs, IIITs and GFTIs. And from that perspective, we're going to cover one more institution today. We've already covered about 12 of them over the past few days. Look at the playlist which is Hidden Gems, where we're covering each of them, and we'll also justify why we're talking about them, why we think that it must be a part of your option set and a consideration set. In that process, we're going to cover one more institution today.
काफी स्टूडेंट्स टॉप कॉलेजेस लूज कर देते हैं गलत काउंसलिंग रीजन की वजह से, लेकिन ये मिस्टेक आप अवॉइड कर सकते हो क्योंकि इंडिया के बेस्ट जेईई और नीट काउंसलर्स आ रहे हैं आपकी सिटी में। तो यहां मिलेगा आपको एक्सपर्ट गाइडेंस कॉलेज, ब्रांच एंड एडमिशन पर, और सीट्स होने वाली है लिमिटेड, तो अभी के अभी आप जाके रजिस्टर कर सकते हो।
And before I move further, 3 requests that I always have for you. Please subscribe to Btech360. If you want to talk to any of our counselors personally, right, or me personally, there's a WhatsApp number here, messages on this number, and I'll have one of my counselors call you up to fix up a time. And 3, if you want me to cover any other institution, write to us in the message box here, and we'll be researching on that and coming back to you with that presentation also. And as I told you, there are about 11-12 of them that we've already covered. Please go back and look at the playlist which is called Hidden Gems and start following them, because all we are hoping and endeavoring at this point in time is to make sure that you get into the best college and the best course based on your merit, your ability, your score, your ability to pay and those kind of things, right? But the important thing is that you must be able to use your score and merit and ability to get into the best college and the best course possible. Now about this particular institution. You know, all of you who know the science community in this country, you know that since 2006 there's been a big revolution that we have happened at the undergrad level. That IISERs were formed in 2006 to make sure that there's a complete integration where we start ensuring that the students get into research mode, understand pure sciences, natural sciences, and start learning that. You know, earlier IITs and NITs were all dealing with technology, which is the more at the application stage. But IISERs made sure that people who are very keen to pursue their career path in pure sciences, in natural sciences, actually have a pathway that is clearly defined for them, and also to ensure that there is a very early introduction of research capabilities. Now, when we talk of these kind of institutions, you must be very clear about the kind of person that you are, which is that you're very, very clear about understanding why and not just how. You should be actually have a very curious bent of mind. You're not just talking of how it happens, but why it happens is what you should be able to question. And 2, you actually have a very, very good inclination towards reading a lot and pursuing research, because this is all about research, and it actually gives you early wings in terms of how you must research and what the pathways are once you are very keen on research. To explain all these things further, what I'm going to show you is this particular institution, which is IISER Bhopal. Now, IISER Bhopal, this is, by the way, the image of the IISER Bhopal that I'm showing you at this point in time. Massive structure spread over 250 acres of land, and this was established in 2008. The first batch of IISERs were formed, there were 4 of them that were formed in 2006. This is the second batch of IISERs that were formed in 2008, right? This is, of course, a public institution. So to that extent, your fee would be very moderated, very, very minimal, as so to say. And the overall ranking of IISER Bhopal, based on NIRF ranking, which is the Government of India ranking by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, is 75th best university in the country in an overall scale, which is very, very credible, mind you, because it's very young. You actually have institutions like Indian Institute of Science, which are formed in 1911 and all. Of course, it's #1 institution in the country. But most of the institutions that you see, which are ranked here, would be very, very old. They have legacy behind them. But IISER Bhopal somehow has come in and has pitched itself to be the 75th best university overall, in the overall category as far as Government of India is concerned. It's spread over 200 acres of land. Total students in undergrad 4-year. Now, in 4 years, you have 2 kinds of programs. One is Btech and 2 is BS Research. So between those 2 programs, you actually have 427 students across the 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th year in IISER Bhopal, of which 82% are boys and 18% are girls, right? And of course, because it's an IISER and the merit is the way you get into the whole thing, 91% of the students come from outside the state of Madhya Pradesh, right? And about 30 students come from within the state. 4 students come from outside the country also. So it's aspirational enough for you to make sure that even people from outside the country want to come and study here. Now, Why do we recommend this particular college? You look at it this way. We are now talking of engineering only, which is a Btech program. And we are taking the data of NIRF, which is National Institutional Ranking Framework, which is a ranking done by Ministry of Education, Government of India. There the latest submission has happened. By the way, this is not a public record at this point in time because NIRF has still not come up with a ranking, right? But when we look at this 2026 data of IISER Bhopal, which means that they actually give one previous year data for the placement purpose because 26 placement is still not complete, mind you. For the Btech program, they have 73 students in the intake, of which 72 were admitted. 56 graduated. So about 16 people did not graduate. They would have left in between or they would have failed, one doesn't know, but 16 people did not even graduate. Now placed is 10 students because 56 of them moved for higher studies. This typically happens in most of the IISERs because the culture is such that you want to study further, you want to keep moving ahead and keep researching more and keep taking the integrated path of masters and PhD also. So a lot of students who study at IISERs, unlike IITs and all, people who study at IISER want to keep pursuing higher studies till they find a pathway which is a better pathway. So to that extent, only 10 people offered themselves a placement because 46 said they would not want to get placed, they want to move for higher studies. So 100% placement and the median salary is 12 lakh rupees. I do have a question mark on this 46 by the way, because this is a Btech program, not a BS program. So at times whenever I see such high number of people in a Btech program moving for higher studies, I do have a red flag raised. But this is the data that's been submitted to the government. Even in previous year, you actually have 5 placed and 46 moving for higher studies. And essentially between 59, you actually have about 39% placed. Before that, it was 64% placed. But if you look at the median salary, it's 11 lakh, 9 lakh and 12 lakh. And this year, they're showing 12 lakhs as the median salary. But the high number of placements that you're moving for higher studies does have a question mark for me. I hope after watching this video, some people from IISER Bhopal would respond back on us so that we actually lead the students to the right path. For me, I'm only going by data as it is there, which shows 100% placement and 12 lakh rupees. But I do have some question marks on the kind of data that's coming out from the whole thing, because I don't have any internal information which warns me of anything else. It's just that I know for a fact that across NITs and IIITs, when you have so many people moving for higher studies in a Btech program, not a BS program, mind you. BS program is very clearly meant for people who want to study further and go on and on. Btech is slightly an anomaly for me because in Btech typically you get onto a job and then pursue something else in terms of application. But the data at this point in time is 100% placement and 12 lakh rupees is what you will see, which is what IISER Bhopal will claim. And that's what I am also saying because this is Government of India data and not my data. Right. But having said that, IISER Bhopal is very, very good. Remember this, I'm not taking away from the fact that IISER Bhopal is one of the best institutions that India has at this point in time. It is just that this particular data is what I'm questioning. Right. Now, if I were to look at the 4-year programs across, which means we're talking about BS research as well as Btech program, what we have is 115 students for the intake across both the programs, of which 109 were admitted, 82 graduated. So now we look at it, we actually have about 27 people not graduating. Placed is 11, right? Which means from the BS program, only one student sat for placement. 66 went for higher studies. The placement rate is 69% and median salary is 12 lakh rupees. Right. So across both the programs, what we are looking at is about 69% placement and 12 lakh rupees being the median salary, with only one student from BS program offering themselves for placement, and the others possibly have moved on for higher studies. Very clearly, that's what is being shown here. But only 69% placement. Now, if I have to look at the 5-year program, they also have an integrated program, which is BS plus a master's kind of a program, integrated. Now, this is a very good program. Here, we talk of undergrad 5-year program leading to a master's program. Here, the total intake across the board is 252. By the way, in IISER, the 5-year program always runs better because people who are very clear and inclined towards higher studies and research come and join here because they're very clear. The pathway is slightly more clearer than the undergrad program, right? Here, 250 students were supposed to be the intake, of which 236 were admitted. 186 graduated, which means 50 students did not even graduate. Right, 53 were placed, 122 moved for higher studies, and 83% placement rate. And the median salary is 20 lakh rupees. The median salary is 20 lakh rupees. Now, again, there is a bit of inconsistency if you see 100% placement, 60% placement, 59% placement, and 83% placement. Median salary 19 lakhs, 14.5 lakh, and 20 lakh. So the numbers are very, very volatile and very fluctuating. And that is something, again, I am unable to understand. But maybe for a 5-year program, that's how it works. If you look at typical just PG program, this is not the kind of fluctuation that you see, but there seems to be quite a bit of fluctuation here, right? But 20 lakh and 83% placement is what they claim, which is the data that is there with the government of India, which is what I'm representing. But I'm just pointing out the red flags in terms of the kind of data that we see here. Now, what is the thing? You actually see the BS-MS dual degree program, which is a 5-year program. It's a science program, and all IISERs have it. We're talking of, through IIT, which is the IISER Aptitude test. We're talking of this, right? And then you have BS-MS dual degree program, 5 years, in computational and data science. Now, this has high demand in terms of placements also, by the way. Whereas this is pure sciences, where people go on for PhD also and move on from there. And this is only in IISER Calcutta. Then you have the Btech program, 4-year program, of course, engineering program. IISER Bhopal is what it has. There are BS programs for 4 years again, economic sciences, IISER Bhopal, and then BS 4 years program in economic and statistical sciences. This is a very unique program which only IISER Tirupati has it, right? So those are the kind of programs that we're talking about. Now, what are the other programs again? If we continue this whole thing, BS in economical and statistical sciences, it's in IISER Tirupati, I told you earlier, and BS in economic sciences is in IISER Bhopal. Now, each of them is a specialized program and very niche program where a certain set of placements happen, but typically students want to keep pursuing for masters and PhD also in most of the places, right? Then, if you look at the BTech programs that you have BTech in chemical engineering at IISER Bhopal. We are talking about IISER Bhopal at this point. BTech in data center engineering, this is high demand from the companies in IISER Bhopal, and BTech in electrical engineering and computer science. Again, high demand program. This is an IISER Bhopal. These two typically have a lot of placement for you, even the BTech in chemical engineering and IISER. But chemical engineering these days is struggling as far as we know in terms of the placements. But I don't know how, we don't have branch-wise data of IISER, by the way, in terms of placements. So that might be a question mark in our head. But the data science and computer sciences, we all know that is in vogue and it's in demand. So you're more likely to be very competitive in that, but the placement outcomes are also very, very good. Now, what are the other institutions which accept the IIT examination? Because of course, you want to get into IISER Bhopal, you need to take the IIT examination. So what we're now talking about is, what else can you use the IIT examination for? Of course, we want you to use the IIT score to get into any institution that is there. The way we talk of JEE examination, where you can use the JEE main examination for IITs, not IITs, but JEE Advanced, but NITs, IIITs, and GFTS, and many other states also. For IIT also, the same exam, of course, can be used for all the IISERs, but besides that, for IIS, Indian Institute of Science, BS research program, you can use that. In IIT Madras, you actually have a BS program. You can use the same thing for IIT. IIT Guwahati has a BS in biomedical science and engineering. It is used. Indian Association of Cultivation of Science, Kolkata has a BS MS integrated program, which is a 5-year program, and that can be the same rank and score can be used. And IEST Shibpur has BS MS Chemistry, Physics, Applied Geology program, which can be used there. It's a 5-year program. So besides the IIT examination would be used not just for the getting into an admission into IISERs, but all these institutions also use the IIT score to admit students. You're talking of ISC Bangalore, which is the best university in the country. You have IIT Madras, IIT Guwahati, and the other two also. All these 5 institutions use the IIT examination score rank for you to get admission. So you better take that examination if you want to get into IISER, but it is usable by other institutions also. Now, what is the mode of admission in IISER Bhopal? IISER Aptitude test, I told you about that. The minimum standard is 60% marks. And for other categories, 55% marks. And admissions are based on performance in the IISER Aptitude, which is IIT. Right. So that's the examination, that's the most important for you. Now, what are the important dates? The reason why we're talking about it now is the last date for application is 13th of April. So you need to, it's just a few days away, apply right now. Once you see the video, go to the IISER portal, click on the IIT examination thing and start applying right now. Keep it as an option. Don't lose thing. You can always decide whether you want to go there or not at some point in time when you get admission. You're not deciding on these things right now. But apply now. Prepare for the examination if possible. Appear for the examination if possible. If you get a good rank, at least you have multiple options that are there. So after JEE, I would always advise you to write the IIT examination also. Right. The correction window is April 16th to 18th. The hall ticket is May 24th. Examination is June 7th. So by then your JEE main, JEE advanced, all these things are over and done with. And that is where you have an advantage of assuming something doesn't go well for you in the JEE and JEE advanced kind of a thing, you still have an option of getting in through this. And by the way, some of this IISc and some of the things that I told you, the placement there is about 20 lakh kind of an average salary, median salary. So don't lose out on those kind of options, right? And June 7th is the answer key, objection is June whatever, and document upload window is from June 13th, whatever. But the important thing is, 13th April is the last day to apply, examination is on 7th of June. And this is much after JEE Advanced exam results happen. Now the next part of it, of what is the mode of admission, right? People go through the IIT examination. It's a mode of admission is IIT, as I told you. It's a computer-based test, CBT. Exam date is June 7th, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and various centers. So they actually give centers across the country because IIT is a big enough examination where you can actually appear in many of the cities in the country, right? We talked of it that the mode again is 60 questions, biology, chemistry, maths, physics, 15 each, 180 minutes. MCQ, it's largely single correct answer, +4 for correct answer, -1 for wrong answer, unanswered is 0 marks, maximum marks is 240, 60 into 4, 240. Total marks out of 240 is what you'll get the rank. Right. Now, what is the number of candidates that appeared for IIT examination last year? 82,000 students registered, 78,000 students appeared for the examination for 2,363 seats. So essentially what we're talking of is a 1:35 kind of a ratio. 1:35 students is 1:34 students is what we're dealing with. For every seat that you have, 34 students appeared for, 33 to 34 students appeared for the examination. So that's a very competitive enough in that sense, right? And which means that it's there in demand and the best students are obviously go there, right? Now, what are the seats that you have, the 2,365? By the way, it's only 2,043 because you also are dealing with some other institutions which are also taking the same IISER examination, right? In IISER Berhampur, there are 300 seats. In IISER Bhopal, 300. These are, the class 12th ke baad, right? IISER Kolkata is 280 seats. IISER Kolkata, computational and data science is 30 seats only. IISER Mohali, 275. IISER Pune, 288. IISER Trivandrum is 320. And Tirupati is 250. In all, 2,043 across the IISER. And then you have IISc and all those people also accepting the same examination score. Now, what is this? You also have the Btech program here, by the way. IISER Bhopal is 40 seats. IISER Bhopal Btech Data Science and Engineering is 80 seats. IISER Bhopal Btech is 75 seats. IISER Bhopal BS Economic Science is 55. And IISER Tirupati BS Economic and Statistical Science is 50 seats. And then you have the dual degree programs also, which is 300 seats of MS dual degree, BSMS dual degree. Btech Chemical Engineering is 40 seats. Btech Electrical Engineering and Computer Science is 75 seats. Btech Data Science and Engineering is 80 seats. And BS Economic Science is 55. In all, 550 seats. Now, what is the highest closing rank? You should know what kind of rank would get you into any of the IISER. So what we did was we actually put together the highest closing rank at a category level for IIT examination so that you know what are your chances of getting into it. The BSMS dual degree program for general and OBC, the highest closing rank is 5,624. Remember, 78,000 students appeared for the examination. Highest closing rank was 5,624. For BTech, the highest closing rank was 3,169, and for BS Economics, it is 5,668. So you need to be in the top 5 percentile to stand a chance of getting into any of these things, 5 to 7 percentile, right? By the way, this is the highest closing rank. The opening rank would be, in some of the programs would be about 10, 20 and whatever, obviously, because so many students appeared for the examination. It is across all the examinations that we're talking about, across all IISERs and everything, right? And if you look at a category level, 3289 for OBC NCL, SC is 1327. Remember, we're talking about the category rank. We're talking of category rank, right? EWS category rank 1160, you get BSMS dual degree. ST is 679, and Kashmiri migrants is 37,772. Right, and again you have for BTech it's 30,303 for Kashmiri migrants, 313 for ST, 398 for EWS, 797 for SC, and OBC NCL is 1,313. BS Economics 2,113 for OBC NCL, 1,377 for SC, EWS is 589, ST was 715, and Kashmiri migrant is 83,794. Now, what is the fee structure? The fee structure is such that admission one time is 15,000, of course. The tuition fee is about 33,000 to 40,000 rupees. Other charges per semester is 10,300, and the hostel and dining per semester is 7,100. So what we're talking about is including hostel and dining and all, you're spending about 50,000 rupees per semester, which means you're dealing with about 4 to 4.5 lakh rupees for the full course program, including hostel and mess and everything. That's very, very nominal if you look at it from that perspective. Now, this is the reservation, of course, which is the Government of India reservation policy that they follow. 15% for SC, 7.5% for ST, OBC NCL is 27%, EWS is 10%, which is extra numeracy, remember that. So it is added to the 100. PWD is 5% within each category, and 3 seats per IISER for Kashmiri migrants is what they also gave. I was also looking at the kind of placements and what kind of companies go there for placement. So when we looked at that, all great companies go there. Amazon goes there for placement, Siemens Healthliners, Lucidata, Infosys, Morgan Stanley, Tata Trust, Next Education, ISRO, Azim Premji Foundation, ONGC, Dr. Reddy's Laboratory, Avanti, Unilever, Topper, Bark, Shell, Indian Railways, Barlow Shirt, TCS, which is Tata Consultancy Services, Nurture.firm, Byju's is now dead anyways, Wiley Edge, Atotech, Nomura, IDBI Bank, Deloitte, Nucleome, Wipro, Excel Instruments, HP, Hindustan Petroleum, PNB, SBI, Union Bank of India. So you actually have banks, investment banking companies, healthcare companies, tech companies, health sciences companies, almost every kind of and a lot of PSUs also, and large conglomerates like Reliance and all also there. So you actually have all kinds of companies going there for placement, which is an advantage you have because one, the cost of education is very moderated, and two, more importantly, most of the big companies know that students who are here are very serious about their pure sciences. At a concept level, they're very clear, they have a curious bent of mind, they research well. So the kind of companies that go here understand that space, understand the quality of student that IISERs produce, and they go there for placement also. We're talking of IISER Bhopal only at this point in time. We also looked at LinkedIn to understand how the students who studied at IISER Bhopal are performing in their lives, where are they located, where are they placed, where are they staying, all those things. When we looked at that data, we found about 4,044 students who claimed that they studied at IISER Bhopal across either undergrad or postgrad or integrated, of which 87% people stay in India, which means 13% students stay in the world, around the world, outside of India rather, 13.1%, of which about 291 students stay in USA, which means they've moved out of India to USA and are working there in one of the companies in USA. That obviously augurs well because it is very young as an institution, it's less than 20 years old. But within less than 20 years old, only for about 13-14 batches would have come out of IISER also. Still, when you have 7% people who are working in USA and about 13% students working outside of India, it means that the skill set, the learning and the outcomes that we're talking about is so good that the students who studied at IISER Bhopal find their pathway, find their calling outside of India also, where biggest companies in the world actually seek them out and actually employ them. That is what it means, that 13% of the students are working outside of India also for such a young institution where not more than 12-13 batches have come out, graduated and have moved on with life, right? Which means that if you give it 20 more years, this 13% will become about 25%. That's the strength of this institution. So what, as I said, our endeavor is simple, that we want you to keep all options open. We want to make sure that you actually get into the best college based on your score, your merit, your ability to pay and those kind of things. And from that perspective, we're covering a lot of institutions out here. Some of them slightly expensive, some of them very moderate, some of them public institutions, some of them are private institutions, some of them young, some of them old. But the intention is very clear, that we want to make sure that you have all options on the table before you make that final choice and get into the best college based on your score, merit, ability to pay and those kind of things. So if you want me to cover any other institution, please write to me here. I'll be happy to cover that. And please do subscribe to Btech360. Thank you so much. Namaste.